Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? This is Jeff from BKJmacTV, and this is the BKJmac podcast experience coming to you live from Manhattan, New York, psych, Brooklyn, New York. Anyway, season 3, episode 21, and we're talking about it. It's long overdue, but we're talking about it. And this is Darkside of the Ring, it's episode 5. And this is about the legendary Junkyard Dog. Now, let me tell you something about Junkyard Dog. I didn't know much about him. I didn't really have much information about him. I didn't know his impact in professional wrestling. I didn't know much about the guy. And it's not until I watched the episode Darkside of the Ring that I knew, man, this guy was extremely impactful in the 80s. And he was the first black superstar in pro wrestling. And, he made a lot of money. He made a lot of people happy. He went to schools. He gave back to kids. Gave back to the community. He was there. I mean, this man, the Junkyard Dog, was there. He was there. His real name, Sylvester Ritter, was born on December 13th, 1952, and died on June 1st, 1998. He was an American professional wrestler and a college football player, best known for his work in Mid-South Wrestling and the World Wrestling Federation as the Junkyard Dog, or JYD, a nickname he received while working in the Wrecking Yard. He was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2004. Now, let me tell you, he was very famous in Mid-South wrestling. Mid-South essentially built and designed the Junkyard Dog, and Mid-South wrestling was being led by Bill Watts. Bill Watts was in charge of the NWA Mid-South Wrestling, and Bill Watts, in the 80s, especially in the Mid-South, black wrestlers being given that type of shine and that type of opportunity was very rare. But Bill Watts saw something in him. He saw something very marketable in him. And he was like, you know what? This is going to be the guy that's going to carry the company. He's going to carry my company. He's going to be the face of my company. And he said, I don't care whatever race person says anything about it, that's my guy. And the Junkyard Dog was his guy. Sylvester was his guy. And Junkyard Dog became so huge, so big, that eventually, when WWE came knocking on the door, he left Mid-South. Allegedly, in the documentary Darkside from the Ring, he alleged that he was in a stall and he heard Bill Watts use the N-word to describe him when saying that, I'm gonna keep that N in line. He ain't going nowhere. And honestly, Bill Watts said it. I never used that. That situation never happened. You never know. Did that situation happen? He said he swore that situation never happened. That's a he say type of moment. We don't know. There was no proof. I don't know. But from what I do understand from the documentary, he left Mid-South Wrestling, NWA Mid-South Wrestling, which was that big blow to Bill Watts, because Bill Watts basically built and packaged the Junkyard Dog. The Junkyard Dog made so much money based on the machine that Bill Watts put behind him. The Junkyard Dog, his wrestling ability wasn't that technical. He used a lot of brawling moves, big moves, and The wrestlers were told to make sure to make him look good, because he drew such a pop from the fans, and the fans loved him. There was no injuries that the Junkyard Dog caused to fellow wrestlers. He was a good performer, a safe worker. In fact, he had a long-term relationship with the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. Did not know that, and they were friends up until the Junkyard died. A lot of people didn't even know that, and I didn't know that. And looking at it, I was just like, wow. When he got to WWE, Vince McMahon was able to, capitalize on his likeness, putting him on a cartoon with Hulk Hogan, and really just, exploiting him as what Vince McMahon does best. But Vince McMahon did not want to put the WWE championship on him. Now, he was the champion in Mid-South Wrestling. He was the champion. Everybody recognized him. The Junkyard Dog was the champion of Mid-South Wrestling. He wore that belt with pride and dignity and humility. When it came to WWE, Vince McMahon, I guess he didn't heed the lessons from Vince McMahon Sr., because Vince McMahon Sr. always stressed of diversity within the wrestlers, and that whoever held the championship was a representation of that segment of that geographic location in the United States. Vince McMahon, on the other hand, favored heavily on Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan, everybody knows how I feel about that guy. I don't like him. I think he's a piece of trash. He couldn't wrestle for a lick. He buried a lot of people. He buried the union, a wrestling union, by snitching to Vince McMahon. And basically, he just cared about himself. Honestly, he really just cared about himself. He didn't really care about other wrestlers unless you were close to his inner circle, and that benefited him financially greatly. So, to keep the title for WWE, for Vince McMahon to keep the title on Hulk Hogan and not give Junkyard Dog an opportunity to hold the WWE Championship is an embarrassment. It was simply an embarrassment, and the Junkyard Dog never got a chance to really be in the main event to really showcase why he was so popular in Mid-South, why he sold out so many gyms and stadium arenas in Mid-South, in the South. And it's because of that lack of opportunity that he was receiving in WWE. The lack of opportunity is what made him left by the end of the late 80s. It was just like, what's the point? What's the point if they won't let me hold the belt, if they won't really let my character shine? WWE, honestly, it's a business of characters. These are characters, and these are stories. You build characters up, you write the story behind them, and you perform them in front of the fans. Now, people think that wrestling is fake. Now, wrestling is not fake. It is a stunt show. It is a coordinated, dangerous stunt show. When you go there and you pay for the price of admission to watch, you will see what I'm talking about. Wrestling is not fake. The storylines, yes, it's fabricated. The wins and losses are fabricated because Vince McMahon decides who wins or loses. Or in this day and age, Triple H. But the moves, the impact, the elbows, the slam on the mat, the ram through the steel chairs, these jumping off of ladders, that is real. That is 100% real, and it is impactful to one's career. And the Junkyard Dog endured so much of that, and he didn't even get an opportunity to get a chance to be the WWE champion. There's so many atrocities in WWE that I don't even want to get into right now in this episode, because this is about the Junkyard Dog. Overall, he leaves, he comes back to WCW. Bill Watts is in charge of WCW, gives him another shot, but the alcohol, the drug abuse proves too much. He leaves. He does independent circuits until he officially retires in 97. And then one night, he was so drunk that he drove and he crashed his car and he died. Died on June 1st, 1998. Sad. What was sad was down the line, his daughter, who he talked about a lot, and who accepted the honor when Vince McMahon let him in the Hall of Fame. She ended up passing away a couple of years down the line. I think it was 2017, 18. And it was sad because her headstone is right next to her father, and it was so untimely. And to me, both deaths are untimely, and it was sad. I wish Vince McMahon would give more black wrestlers a chance at being the WWE champion. I'm just gonna bottom line it for you. I am tired of seeing white wrestlers being the WWE champion. I want to see diversity. I need to see diversity in the WWE because I am sick and tired of the same thing over and over and over again. It is to the point where it is just redundant and it is boring. The WWE needs to bring diversity to the WWE Championship. Right now we have Roman Reigns as the WWE Champion, but there's so many people of color in the locker room that should have a chance at being the WWE Champion. So many different characters that would bring an ooh to a title reign. Roman Reigns being the champion for so long, it's like, come on, it's overplayed at this point, but it is what it is. That's what WWE is doing, so it is what it is. Overall, Junkyard Dog, he was the first black superstar in WWE, and it's sad that he didn't get a chance to really shine in the WWE the way he was able to shine in Mid-South Wrestling under Watts. So, thank you for listening to this episode from BKJmacTV. Blessings, God rest your soul, Junkyard Dog. Peace.